Welcome back to the channel. Today we're examining the ongoing conflict involving the United States, Israel, and Iran, which began with coordinated strikes on February 28, 2026. As of March 3, 2026, the military operation, referred to by the U.S. as Operation Epic Fury, has entered its early stages, with reports indicating it has been active for several days. This video focuses on the current status of U.S. and allied strikes, the broader implications, and specifically what could happen if disruptions occur in the Strait of Hormuz, a critical global shipping choke point. Let's start with the verified developments so far. On February 28th, joint U.S. and Israeli forces launched airstrikes targeting Iranian military facilities, including missile sites, air defenses, naval assets, and command structures. These actions resulted in the reported death of Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, along with other senior figures in the military and security apparatus. The U.S. has stated the objectives include destroying Iran's ballistic missile capabilities, neutralizing its naval forces, preventing any path to nuclear weapons, and curbing support for militant groups in the region. President Donald Trump addressed the situation publicly on March 2nd, describing the campaign as the last best chance to address long-standing threats from Iran. He projected an initial timeline of 4 to 5 weeks for major operations, but emphasized the U.S. has the capacity to continue much longer if necessary. Defense officials, including Secretary Pete Hegseth and Joint Chiefs Chairman General Dan Kane, have confirmed additional forces are being deployed to the region, and they have acknowledged that casualties are expected as the conflict progresses. As of the latest reports, at least 4 U.S. service members have been killed in Iranian retaliatory actions, with others wounded. Iran has responded with missile and drone strikes targeting Israel, U.S. military installations in Gulf countries, and sites in nations like Kuwait, Bahrain, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Iraq, and Oman. These attacks have caused casualties, including civilian deaths in some locations, and have damaged infrastructure such as airports and residential areas. Hezbollah, an Iran-backed group in Lebanon, has also launched rockets and drones toward Israel, prompting Israeli counterstrikes. The conflict has already produced significant casualties on multiple sides. Iranian sources report hundreds killed in strikes across the country, while Israel and other affected nations have recorded deaths and injuries from retaliatory fire. The U.S. military has noted incidents like friendly fire events involving aircraft, though personnel were reported safe in those cases. Now turning to the Strait of Hormuz, which is central to global energy security. This narrow waterway connects the Persian Gulf to the Gulf of Oman and handles roughly 1/5 of the world's daily oil consumption, along with substantial liquefied natural gas shipments. It is a vital artery for exports from major producers like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Iraq, Kuwait, and Qatar. Following the initial strikes, shipping traffic through the strait has dropped dramatically. Data from tracking services like MarineTraffic indicate a reduction of around 70% in transits since late February. Major shipping companies, including Maersk and Hapag-Lloyd, have suspended passages through the strait, rerouting vessels via longer paths, such as around the southern tip of Africa. This has led to delays for cargoes heading to or from the Persian Gulf. The slowdown stems from heightened security risks. Reports indicate that Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has issued warnings via radio to vessels, stating that passage is not permitted until further notice. While Iran has not formally declared a full blockade under international law, the combination of threats, electronic interference, and isolated attacks on ships has made commercial operators unwilling to risk transit. Insurers have raised war risk premiums significantly or withdrawn coverage for certain voyages. At least one oil tanker has been reported struck near the strait, and there have been incidents involving drones or missiles targeting vessels. These developments have contributed to immediate market reactions. Global crude oil benchmarks have risen sharply. Brent crude and West Texas Intermediate have seen gains in the range of 5 to 8% or more in recent trading sessions, pushing prices into the high $70 per barrel in some reports. Natural gas and refined product prices have also climbed due to supply chain concerns. If the situation escalates to a more sustained disruption, meaning prolonged restrictions on tanker movements, the economic fallout could intensify. Analysts note that even temporary halts have historically driven price volatility. A scenario where traffic remains severely limited for weeks constrain global supplies, as alternative routes are longer and more expensive, and spare production capacity elsewhere might take time to mobilize fully. The Strait of Hormuz is not easily closed permanently due to its international status under maritime law, which emphasizes freedom of navigation. The U.S. Navy and allied forces maintain a presence in the region to ensure open sea lanes, and past threats to block the strait have not led to indefinite shutdowns. However, even partial or de facto disruptions create uncertainty. Oil markets are pricing in risks of broader supply interruptions, including potential damage to regional energy infrastructure from ongoing strikes or retaliatory actions. Beyond energy, the conflict carries wider implications. It has already affected regional stability, with strikes reaching civilian areas and prompting evacuations or heightened alerts in Gulf states. Financial markets have reacted with stock declines in some sectors, reflecting fears of prolonged uncertainty. Economists warn that sustained higher energy costs could contribute to inflationary pressures globally, though the duration and scale remain uncertain. It's important to stress that the situation is fluid and evolving rapidly. Official statements from all sides should be cross-checked, as information can change quickly in active conflicts. Sources like Reuters, AP, CNN, the New York Times, and the Institute for the Study of War provide ongoing coverage based on verified reporting. This analysis is drawn from publicly available reports as of early March 2026 and is intended for educational purposes. Geopolitical events like this can have far-reaching effects on economies, energy markets, and international relations. Viewers are encouraged to follow reliable news outlets for the most current updates and to consider multiple perspectives. If you're finding this breakdown helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more in-depth geopolitical analysis, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future updates. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What aspect of this situation concerns you most? Stay informed, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.